Well, a couple of things. So let me clear up one thing. So
Please.
we are in the Mississippi Hill Country.
Mm-hmm.
We are not in the Mississippi Delta.
Right.
And what's funny to me is it's not like we've never made these designations, but they've only become more important as we've kind of cut these things apart into national heritage areas. There are 3 in Mississippi. So there's the Mississippi Hills. There's the Delta, Mississippi Delta, which is really the Mississippi Yazoo Delta. Though the Delta runs down the whole state since the river is our western boundary. And then also the Gulf, down at the Gulf, those 6 counties are in a heritage area. But as a kid growing up here, we just said North Mississippi. So we included the North Delta into our region, so to speak. So it really stretched across the top third of the state, basically. And so sometimes I say hill country when I mean specifically on this side of Clarksdale or this side of Quitman County, I would say, this side of Marks. And then I say, the Delta when I'm talking about beyond that line, that county line.
So let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. And I'm just so happy you said that county line. Mm-hmm. What county line are we talking that actually makes this distinction?
So you know that boundary lines aren't that clear cut. No. So in saying that, Lafayette County is pretty interesting in that it's a fairly large square county. It was like many of the counties in North Mississippi came into the state of Mississippi later than the Mississippi Territory. The Mississippi Territory came into the United States in 1817, but the top 2/3 of the states of Mississippi and Alabama, because initially it was the third of Mississippi and Alabama, was the Mississippi Territory. But the top 2/3 were still in indigenous hands. So they did not give up their property rights and begin to move out of the area until the 1830s. So in 1830s, the Choctaw Nation ceded part of their lands here in Mississippi at the Treaty of Dancing Rabbit Creek. In 1832, we had the Chickasaw Nation, which we are in the Chickasaw homeland here. They ceded theirs at the Treaty of Pontotoc Creek in 1832, just up the road from here. Then the area went through the process of being cut up and the legislature did everything it needed to do. So most of these counties started popping up around 1836. Oxford was chartered in 1837. So we have basically those 5 years when these territories are being put together and ripped apart. And Lafayette County, as we like to say it, is bordered by 5 other counties. So we got a lot of neighbors and a lot of similarities, we share a lot of things across these county lines. So to our west, we run into Panola County, which is their county seat is Batesville. And we know Batesville as the gateway to the Delta. So it's got a bridge in town. And the moment you hop over that bridge, you're getting more Delta-ish. You can kind of see almost the difference in terrain. But there's a river over that bridge. Like that's a railroad bridge, but you go out a little bit further and there's a river. And so then you kind of sense that you're getting into flatter land. And you can go to Charleston, so there are several counties in the Hill Country that are, I want to say it's about 30 some odd counties, but some of them are only partial Hill Country counties. And so our neighbors or the neighbors of our neighboring counties like Panola, Tallahatchie, a lot of those are split in half.
Split in half as in Hill Country and Delta?
And part Delta.
Okay.
So for example, if you go across, you go 24 miles to Batesville, go on through town, to get to the Hill Country side of Tallahatchie County, you take a left at the old cotton press in Batesville and go to Charleston. That's East Tallahatchie. East is in the hills.
Okay.
But you have to keep going and you can hang a left in Marks or whatever and get to the Delta side. Tallahatchie County is one of only 10 counties now, there were more, that have 2 county seats. They literally have 2 courthouses. They have a Hill courthouse in Charleston, because Charleston is bigger. And then they have the Delta courthouse in Sumner, which is where the first Emmett Till trial happened.
Wow.
So all of these places are within an hour of us. So, we're at the skinny tip of Mississippi. So there's just less of a stretch and mileage in between going east and running all the way into the Appalachian foothills, because we are in Appalachia now.
Now meaning
Oxford is a part of the Appalachian foothills. We're a part of the Appalachian Council.
When did that happen? And how?
No, that's always been the case. This is hill country. These are where the hills come from.